What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy July 10th. I come on every week and it's about that time. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you out there. I really do miss the downtime, but if I'm being honest, or I miss speaking with you in between the last vlog to today's vlog. But I'm working on so many different projects, or masterminding so many different projects. I'm to the point where I am officially about to drop my visual book entitled The Complex Simplicity of Me, How I've Been Able to Remain Emotionally Balanced in a Dysfunctional World. And yes, like that project was like a lot when it came down to the editing and having to be patient through that process, as my cousin was editing everything for me. He's the one that filmed the visual book, and then definitely finding out a way that it could be downloadable for those out there who do purchase it. Don't worry, it is very cost effective or cost efficient and very affordable. And so that project definitely taught me a lot about the visual world and recording and videography and all of that kind of stuff. And so it's been an interesting journey. I always love when I'm stretched and challenged and I'm able to learn. It's always a great thing. And so I'm glad to say that very, very soon, as we say in the Christian world, soon and very soon, you're going to be able to get this. So make sure you keep on checking me out by coming to complexsimplicity.com, of course, as well as, checking out my Instagram page at complexed, meaning an ED at the end, Simplicity09, Facebook page, Complex Simplicity, so you know when that thing's about to drop. So I feel like a lot happens in a week, right? I kept it fun with last week's blog. Actually, normally I do vlogs, but I kept it fun and did a blog last week. Kept it light. I know I'd been hitting you with some real deep-rooted, controversial, hard, serious, real-life shit topics the last couple of weeks. And so last week I said, you know what? Let me keep it light. And not these days, I've always been a lover of choreography. I'm not a choreographer per se. I dabbled in it during my college years, more so as it pertained to stepping. But I always had a love for dance. I love to dance. I love to go to other people's dance classes and learn from them. And I also just have a pure enjoyment of watching various choreographers all over the world. That's the beauty with social media, right? Where I'm able to check out the who's who of choreographers, or the sleepers of choreographers, meaning people most of us may not know about. They might not have worked with a big time artist or been a part of a big time tour music video, but they're still dope as hell, right? And so I enjoy, on my downtime, really being able to learn about different choreographers. And what I found within the last few months is definitely that the world of dance is very small. Even though there are amazing dancers and choreographers throughout the country, the world of dance is small. And I think that the internet has a lot to do with that, social media particularly. And so I decided to do a blog about the amazing Aaliyah Janelle. I think I mentioned her before. The crazy thing is, I didn't realize I knew about her. One of my good girlfriends, shout out to you, Marquita, used to rave about her, and when I was hanging out with her towards the end of May, Aaliyah Janelle came up and she showed me some footage, and I said, okay, when I have time, let me make it a point to check her out. And what I found was, I've seen this young lady before. I've seen her work before, because another choreographer who I like and love, her name is Chris Gale, actually has gone to Aaliyah Janelle's dance classes and has posted about it. So I'm like, that's why I know her choreography or her style. And so I thought I'd lighten it up last week and kind of shine light or shed light on a choreographer who seems to be killing it in LA and Cali. And I still enjoy Chris Gale. She still seems like she's doing her thing and killing it out there in Cali as well. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I did post a clip to kind of promote the blog that I did, which was Aaliyah Janelle, dancing to King's Dead, which is a dope trap music kind of song, and her choreography speaks for itself. I'm not going to rehash what I wrote in the blog, but there you have it. And so, the last two blogs prior to that one was about, me no longer being at my job and trying to break into the fashion luxury retail industry, which so far, just to give you an update, it seems like, I don't know, I always have this, it's probably the spirit of God in me, but I always have this feeling, this spidey sense when something is meant for me. I remember when my husband and I were actually going to make the big move to where we live now. Even though there were other people that were submitting offers for the house, for some reason in my heart of hearts, in my soul, in my gut, I knew this was our home, and it turned out to be our home. And I kind of feel this way about this particular job that I'm interviewing for. I'm waiting for my second interview. I feel like it's mine, but I'm just being patient, continuing to do my research and learn everything as much as I can. I'm a big researcher. Would have never thought that about myself. Never liked when I was in college taking research type classes, but I find I'm a big researcher. I'm always on the internet searching, looking for something, trying to, I know this one looks funky. My hair needs to get done. It's just a mess right now. So I always find myself like wanting to know more and be well prepared just in life in general. Even with the projects that I take on creatively, I'm always like doing research and trying my best to be well informed and well prepared and like do the due diligence, so to speak. And so yes, so I'll keep you updated. I feel in my heart of hearts that this is my next move. I'm just, praying, keeping fingers crossed, so to speak. Keep me in your prayers as well, that this is what it is and that it's the right, that I do get the job, that it's the right financial offer, and that I genuinely would thrive and do well and love it, right? Because as we all know, or you should know from now or by now, I was in a field for 13 years that I wasn't passionate about, and this is the stage of my life. God bless me, Lord willing, I will be 35 in a matter of 2 weeks, y'all. I'm really hoping and praying that I'm where I need to be, where God would have me to be, and doing something that I love and that I'm passionate about. I'm at that age where thinking about growing a family is real. It really gets real at this point. And so I need to kind of tie up loose ends with this whole career piece so that I can enjoy that and then move forward in my life to hopefully be blessed to be able to be a mama to someone, right? And so I spoke about that, and then the vlog prior to that, I was talking real about married life and how you go through the growing pains and the ups and downs and turnarounds. And so I knew I couldn't just keep hitting you with the heavy. I like to be transparent, wisely transparent with what's going on in my world. And, I didn't want to leave you out on this. A lot of you all, I may not know all of you out there who continuously rock with your girl, but what I do know is that it seems that it's a consistent number of you who rock out with me, and I'm so appreciative for that. And because of that, I feel like it's my duty to give you the realest, rawest content with the hopes that it'll be helpful, empowering, encouraging to you. And so I just wouldn't feel right knowing that, I've gone through certain things that are essentially going to help me in life and help me to grow more, push me to grow and to be a better person, be a better woman, be a better wife, hopefully potentially groom me to be a mom one day, and just keep it to myself. I want to be able to have you along for that ride without telling you all my business, but enough so that it can be helpful, because that's the purpose of Complex Simplicity. So now that we did a cute little roundup about what's been going on for the month of June into July, I can't believe we're damn near in the middle of July at this point. But today's vlog, I guess, is just going to be about a myriad of things. Every now and then I talk about what's on my mind, from it could be TV shows that I'm into, it could be thoughts or quotes that provoked deep thought, it could be entertaining, whatever, just whatever's going on. And so what I have to say, in the world of TV, it's a lot of our downtime and a lot of what we all enjoy to do during our downtime, I should say. For all the Power lovers out there, Power is back, y'all. Sunday was episode 2. I kind of am digging where we're going. That Tyreek, he's something. That Dre, he's something. That Kanan, he's something. that ghost, he's something, and Tommy, and it goes on, right? So I think I like where we're building to. One thing that I've learned with Power is that it's a lot of twists and turns. The plot thickens all the time, which makes it a dope show to watch where you're on the edge of your seat, so to speak, each week. Every now and then you may have a episode that's like, but for the most part, they keep you on the edge of your seat. I am loving the new show that's on the OWN network, Love Is. I am a huge romantic. It's a big part of who I am. And crazy enough, I was sitting here watching The Notebook prior to getting on the camera to do a vlog. And, there's certain parts of The Notebook, I don't care what I'm doing, I have to stop what I'm doing and watch it. So I just love romance. The Notebook is probably my all-time favorite romantic flick. And so Love Is a series, and I think it's so dope because it's really about how a couple meets, how two people meet, man and woman, and how their love story flourishes, and I'm all for that. I think that it's dope that it takes place in the 90s. I'm an 80s baby, but my childhood really that I could remember started in the 90s, and so 90s living is my comfort zone. It's what's familiar to me, and from the music on down to the dressing on down to the lingo, it's so 90s. I love it, but it's such a love story at the core, which I find to be amazing. So check it out if you haven't. Love Is on the OWN network. Comes on tonight. You already know I got that DVR set. Claws has been an amazing thing so far. The plot is really starting to get crazy. That's the show with Niecy Nash, Carucci. I love Claws. It comes on Sundays on TNT. That's great. I'm gearing up for Insecure, which is going to start in August. I think August 5th. So you already know I'm excited for that and what's to come over there. Even though it seems like her ex-boyfriend, Lawrence, the guy or the actor who plays Lawrence, I don't think he's going to be on this season, and I don't know why. And so we'll see how that all unfolds if that is the case. And I'm trying to think anything else. I'm still a big daytime talk show head. So, I'm definitely still watching my shows, even though everybody's pretty much on hiatus, I think, except for Daily Pop and the Wendy Williams show. Let me think what else. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been tuning into. My husband and I, we love to kind of watch TV together and discover new series together. And so yesterday we're spending time, chilling. I had just cooked, y'all. I made a good quinoa, spicy chicken, black beans, kale bowl thing. It's so good. It was really good. And, we had finished eating, and, what we love to do is tune into some good shows. And he was like, we're on Netflix, and he's like, let's watch The Safe. We were able to watch the whole season in one sitting. It was only 8 episodes, and pretty dope series. I love whodunit kind of shows, and it's one of those kind of shows, so you got to check it out. It has the actor, I don't remember his name, from Dexter and 6 Feet Under. Good actor. So check it out. It's on Netflix, The Safe. There's a lot of stuff going on that's entertaining. Of course, I still am tuning into my little reality shows, like all of the Real Housewives, all of them I watch. Potomac is off the hook. They crazy. I'm gearing up for the next few episodes that'll probably then take us towards the end of the season into the reunion. I actually watched Candy Coated Nights. Because for me, with everything that we do over here at Complex Simplicity, that is an ultimate goal for me. If I was able to have my own nighttime show, television show, or nighttime radio show / podcast that's recorded, where you can see it, that's so dope. It's one of the goals that I do have for this brand that I've been building for the last 2 years. And so I wanted to check out Candi's. I know that she's a boss chick. She makes those moves, money moves, right? And, I checked it out, and I have to be honest, I wasn't thrilled with it. To me, if you're going to have a show where you're talking about sex and relationships and all those kinds of things, and you have your A, B, or more so your B and C list celebrities that come through to chop it up with you, I feel like we need to dig a little deeper. And maybe she has to keep it cute because it's on the Bravo network. Maybe that wasn't the best network. I get it. She's already on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is on that network, so it's that easy connect with Andy Cohen. But I feel like for that show to be like dope, she would definitely probably need to be on a network that will allow the rawness, the cursing, the, you know what I'm saying? Like the rawness. When we talking sex, love, relationships, life, like there's a certain realness and rawness that is needed, in my opinion at least, and not just like a cookie cutter cute thing, right? As a woman who's married, a woman who's in her mid-30s, when I watch shows like this, I want to be able to get something from it. I don't feel like I'll be getting like jewels of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to the bedroom or when it comes to just relationships in general. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know that I walked away with these past 2 episodes feeling like, ooh, I'm going to try that on my husband. Like I didn't get that sense. And I know Kandi has the information. I know Kandi got the knowledge. I believe she's a freak of the week and can help couples, help people, you know, and just be entertaining. But I feel like there's but so much she can do because of the network that she's on. I could be wrong, but let me know how y'all feel about that if you've tuned in. I'm trying to think what else. So I guess I'm done with talking about TV shows, but that's just to update you. If I'm being honest, TV shows also give me inspiration at times for the things that I talk about. So some of the topics that I talk about, I've been inspired to talk about them because I watched Basketball Wives, which is another show that I've been watching, which is crazy. Like that show gives me inspiration in the sense of women, like especially us women of color, like why are we doing each other like this? Why are we acting and treating each other in this way? I watched the episode yesterday or Sunday. I think they aired it earlier than usual. You know, with the whole Evelyn Lozada, Tammy Roman beef. Like, what is really the issue, ladies? And why is it that you all are well in your 40s? Tammy is probably, arguably knocking on 50. I'm pretty sure Evelyn Lozada is like a mid-40s, I'm sorry, by now. But why are you all treating each other this way? Why is it so hard to have a mature conversation with one another about what the real issue is? Tammy, if the issue, I'm talking like you actually watching this, but if you happen to stumble on this and you happen to watch this, please take this out of love in the sense of I'm not coming from a place of darkness or whatever, right? But you know, like if the issue is the fact that you felt that she, or you're sure that she slept with Kenny, your ex-husband, while you were with him, then address that head on. Like, go for it head on if that's really what you feel. Y'all, this hair is a mess, I'm sorry. Now, if you have other issues with her, say what it is. Evelyn, own your ish, please. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of times, you know, she's like, her energy is just crazy. Like, I feel like she's falls into the category of women who get joy and pleasure out of talking negatively about other women consistently. To me, it doesn't matter if you're her friend or you're her foe or you're her associate. I feel like she always got something to say. And people like that, I've been around people like that. I know people like that who always have something to say, to tear down the next woman, to discredit the next woman, to pull, you know, to make fun or poke fun of the next woman's looks, her fashion choices. Like, when I come across women like this, no matter how old they are, all that it tells me and reveals to me is that you're not happy within your life and that you have your own insecurities within yourself, which is why it makes you feel good, or you take great pleasure out of putting down the next woman's hairstyles, choices of outfits, mannerisms, whatever it is, you know, like, it's crazy to me. And then, like I said, to see these women get behind these charities and make, you know, all these foundations, but at the core of it, you're always trying to rip apart the next one. Like, come on. Now, what I will say is that was a low blow that Tammy did say when she was, you know, putting out there that Evelyn really wasn't involved in a domestic violence type of situation. It was more of they both, when they argued or got into it, they both got physical with one another. It wasn't where she was like the victim. It was where she was putting her hands on Chad Ochocinco as well. Don't know, we'll never know. That was a low blow. And to me, that was, I don't know if Tammy was really thinking in terms of her businesses and what she's doing. You know, the Bonnet Chronicles got picked up by Tidal, which I think is amazing. She's been on the road doing her kind of stand-up thing. I think I just saw today on Instagram that she's actually going to be a part of some kind of a movie. So she's making moves, and I'm hoping that she kind of sees that whatever she said to Evelyn with regards to her alleged domestic violence incident years ago, don't say things that can hurt or discredit the moves you're making within your own career, right? I didn't know that Tammy was also a victim of domestic violence. And so I think for her, it's like, I was really struggling with this and getting my ass beat. And this was my life in several relationships. What you were in, that wasn't real. And you even told me that that incident was actually an accident. But because a neighbor saw what was happening, you had to play this role. Don't know how true that is. What I will say is I don't look at Tammy as a liar. She really, in all of the seasons she's been on Basketball Wives, hasn't really shown herself to be that. But, you know, either way, it was a low blow. And I think what Evelyn was doing, you know, once again, tearing down Tammy's looks, you know, and all those kinds of things. Like, how old are we? These women are like in their 40s, knocking on 50. And so I just feel for the younger generations who do engage in watching these kinds of shows, because I don't know that they're able to all separate and say, that's not what I want to be. That's not how I want to conduct my life. This is not the right way to communicate with the next woman, right? You know, when you have differences or issues with someone, you don't have to be disrespectful and exude all that toxic behavior. That's not really the best way to handle things, in my opinion. And so, you know, shows like Basketball Wives have helped me, or not helped me, but has inspired a lot of my, or some of my topics over the last 2 years, because it gets the wheels turning in my mind just about how us women are towards one another constantly. Why? You know, I was talking to one of my girlfriends today, you know, and I said, girl, we could accomplish so much more together than apart. Like, a project that I'm trying to mastermind and collaborate with other women on, you know, I'm having big hopes and dreams for this, because I feel like when you work together with other women who have amazing talents and we can kind of join forces and work together, in my mind, we should be able to create dopeness, like amazingness, you know what I'm saying? And in some ways, working and collaborating with other women may help us reach our goals quicker than just us constantly only working solely on our own. Now, don't get me wrong, simplicity, I'm all the way down to collaborate with other women as long as it makes sense and we're speaking the same language as far as the message that we're putting out there. You know, but I'm not, of course, going to stop my grind with what I'm doing separately. But I also understand the importance of collaborating with certain projects and working with other women. I'm the type of person, I know my girlfriend's talents, they know my talents. Let's work together. Let's get that money together. Like, let's have fun together, you know? And so, you know, I'm not going to speak on what we're trying to cook up, but just know we trying to cook something up. You know, so we could accomplish so much more together than apart. And so I hate when I see these kinds of shows that reflect women always like this, at odds, right? Why can't we ever work together? And not only working together in the name of charities and foundations. Why can't we work together normally? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I move on. I think I had posted on my Instagram page a week ago this thought that I meant to blog about or vlog about. And the thought, I believe, was along the lines of this. I'm paraphrasing. I have a bad memory with exact quotes. But why is it that we often go to people for advice on things that they know nothing about, they haven't experienced, right? I think we have to be careful, I'm speaking to myself as well, with going to certain people, whether it's family members, friends in our lives, colleagues, whoever, with going to them for advice on things we know they haven't experienced. I probably touched on this before in the realm of marriage. Like, I'm not gonna go to my single friends for marital advice, right? They may have great advice with certain things that work in relational situations, but they may also have, like, they're not gonna have the best of advice fully because they don't know what it's like to be married. Now, if I had a friend who was married and divorced, absolutely, you know what it's like to be married. A friend who's currently married, absolutely. Maybe even a friend who's been in like a common law kind of marriage situation. You've lived with your better half for like several years. Okay, we can rock with that. So I spoke about it in those terms, but I think it reaches out to everything. Careers, like, I'm not gonna go to someone about a career in the fashion industry that I'm now trying to pursue if they know nothing about that and never worked in that field a day in their life, you know? Not saying they can't give me helpful jewels. One of my good girlfriends was like, listen, I interview all the time. You've held down a job for a decade and more, right? I've had to go to interviews a lot often. Here are some tips. That's different. I can rock with that. But like, as far as like retail, luxury retail, none of my friends are in this industry, right? So I'm probably not going to be able to really turn to any of them for advice about what happens in this field of practice because that's not what they're in, you know? And so to me, it's just us using our common sense and being cognizant of who we can go to for certain things, right? Within our support network, within our tribe, know your clientele, as my husband always says. When he refers to his friends and family, he said, I know my clientele. I know who can handle this. I know who I can go to for this. I know the people in my life. And so I think it's important for us to know our clientele. I feel like I too know who I can go to for advice about marriage, who I can go to for advice about, not even marriage, because like I said, I don't talk to my friends about my marriage and stuff like that. But I at least know my parents. If I ever really needed to talk to them, I know who to go to. And the few of my friends who are married, if I did feel led to talk on a surface level, I'll know who to go to. When it comes to career, I know who to talk to. One of my girlfriends is uber passionate about career. And so that's why she was the first person, when she found out I was no longer at my job of 13 years, to reach out to me real quick and be like, girl, I'm taking you out. Let's celebrate this change. This needed to happen. Like, but she's uber passionate about career. So I know when it comes to certain things, who I can go to with that regard. I know if I have any needs or questions about makeup, I know who I can contact about that. You know, I know if I just want to talk about normal psychological issues of the world, I have my best friend who I can go to for that. You know, so it's just all know your clientele. I know which family members I can go to and what I can talk to them about. Very important. Let's stop going to people and telling them all what we're going through in our business when we know they can't help us. Now, if you just feel like you need an encouragement or encouraging word or ears to hear you out, that kind of support, that's one thing. And even then, I'll say be very wise who you choose to share certain things with. Unfortunately, not everybody handles things the way you may feel you do. It's a harsh truth that I've had to learn most of my life. Not most of the time, people are not going to handle things the way I do. So what I would expect from a loved one or a friend, unfortunately, I'm probably not fully going to get that. And I've had to come to terms with that and be okay with that, right? So just keep in mind, if you feel, but I'm always willing and ready to give this, but I'm always there for you in this way, and you don't get it back, just always keep that in your mind. Everybody is not going to handle things the way you handle things. And so just keep that in mind. Know who to go to and stop going to folk who can't help you because they haven't experienced this in their lives yet. Okay? Okay. And another topic I wanted to just put out there, I know that the suicide rates are just crazy right now. I know from people in the entertainment business to everyday life people, the homicides is just crazy. The state of the world is just awful, insane, toxic, and crazy, right? And it can really affect us in different ways, right? It could affect us where we become numb to it, like most of us are becoming. It could affect us where it keeps us up at night. R.I.P. to Junior, when he passed away, a lot of parents in the entertainment business and just people I know in general were like, yo, watching that footage kept me up at night, you know? these tragic things affect us differently. There are a lot of people battling and battling depression, y'all. I don't know that we all understand how real that is. I've never been depressed, clinically depressed. I've never felt hopeless, and I don't ever want to feel that way, but I do know it exists and that it's real. A lot of my work experience involved me working with youth and adult parents who battled and struggled with depression and many other mental health disorders. So I get, and I have seen for myself, I've sat up, like I said before, in many emergency rooms with my clients over the years. I know how real it is from the outside, being closely to someone going through this. And so it's real. So if you know anyone in your life who you feel is battling with depression or any form of mental illness, please have a certain patience, love for them. Of course, be real with them. If they need help, say something. Like MTA say, you see something, say something. Don't never address that or talk to them out of love, and then God forbid something happens, right? I always say I want to be able to sleep at night. And so please, if you know anyone who's struggling with depression, battling with it, or any other kind of mental health disorder, please try to help them to get help or point them in the right direction of where that help can be. I know too many people right now who are struggling and going through it. I know someone who's currently psychiatrically hospitalized, getting the help they need, thank God. I think I know someone who battles it. I don't know if they're really trying to get help, but you know, it's real. It's real. And alcoholism, substances are part of that. I'm also finding that people in my world are really potentially going down the road of alcoholism. That is real. I've worked with parents who've battled alcoholism and substance abuse. So please, let's just try to figure out a way to be supportive of the people in our lives who we know are going through heavy battles and battling serious demons. We may not have all the answers, but at least if we're balls to the wall enough to have the conversation with them out of love, or to reach out to someone who may have a closer connection that person would be safe or feel safe talking with, like, let's do what we have to do to help people in our lives, our loved ones, with whatever they may be battling and dealing with. You know, a lot of times we as humans don't want to deal with our shit, as I often say, and we rather look to substances, alcohol, marijuana, these days cocaine, dope, prescription pills, a whole bunch of things. A lot of us are like using to cope with whatever hurts and traumas we have experienced in our lives. And it's real out here. I know it's easy to be judgy and judgmental. It's very easy to just, this person's just lazy, or this person just, they can't get their life together. No, like, they're probably really battling something real and really may need our help. You know, I'm glad a lot of these ratchet ass reality shows are actually starting to address this issue. I just wish that they would do it in a way where all the other drama wouldn't outshine it, so to speak. You know, another reason why I've said I tune into Joe Budden's podcast all the time. I love his transparency about his past addictions and struggles with substances. And he's a big advocate on therapy, and I respect people who use their platforms to really put out the message that mental health is important. A lot of people are dealing with stuff we may not know. The very own people in our lives could be dealing with some real shit we don't know. And so when we start to observe that behavior seems to be odd, or something just doesn't seem to be right, or something is just off, it probably is, and probably is for a reason. And so I don't know that we just let it be and keep it pushing. And I'm speaking to myself right now as well, because I know more than 3 people going through some real stuff. What I can say is, I can be honest, you know, one of my people who's currently hospitalized getting help, this has been an ongoing conversation with this person for over a year, right? And so I always said to myself, Chanel, God forbid something happened to this person, and you were around this person all the time, and you didn't say anything, will you be able to live with yourself? Like, that's not cool. And so I would make it a point, even if it was putting the friendship on the line, to be like, hey, I think you need help. I think you should do this, and so I was glad to hear that this person, whether they were forced to get the help they wanted, whatever, I was glad to hear that they were in a position where they had to get the help, right? From professionals. I'm a great listener, and I think I have great skills. Psychology is my background as far as my bachelor's degree, but I'm not equipped and trained to handle serious things, of course. And so the most I can say after a while is I think you need to speak to a professional, right? So I was glad to hear that this person got the help that they need, and I hope that they took their treatment seriously and that it's helping them, but I would not have been able to sleep at night if I know that I had many opportunities to nudge lovingly this person to get the help, and I didn't. I'm so glad I did, and I took every opportunity that came my way to nudge and urge this person lovingly to get the help that they needed. So I think that's a good way for a lot of us to be. If we're really friends, I remember saying this to someone who I used to be closer to years ago. I remember saying this to this person around the time I was about to get married. Like, it comes a point in time in our friendships, y'all, and y'all know I love to talk about this topic, so bear with me, where the fun and games has to come to an end and we have to talk real life shit after a while. It cannot be where it's always about us, as my brother would say, playing in the sandbox. We're always clubbing, partying, or in social settings with one another, shooting the breeze on a surface level, but we all know we're going through some real shit in our lives and we're not talking about it. I'm not saying spill all of your business and the beans and the demons in your closet, but if you know something serious is happening with you and we're friends, if I know I'm going through some craziness and we're friends and we happen to be having a lunch or a dinner or a brunch, or we're at a birthday party together or whatever, in my mind, there's some level of something I should be sharing with you. I'm not interested. I am not interested in friendships that are surfacey and silly, and it's all about the fun and games. That's not going to help either one of us in the big picture of life. At some point, we need to have people in our circles and around us, in our inner circles, who are going to be willing to tell the truth and be honest, where we can be transparent. We can help each other. Girl, you going through this? Girl, I'm going through this. Let's help each other. Let's pray each other through. You can call me when you need me. Like, where is that? I dealt with friendships for a while where it was like, this friend we could party with, and this friend we can go here and do this with. This friend is great to shop with. This friend is great to do dinner with. Like, I know the people in my life, yes, we all have different connections. That's fine. But I want to know that the 4, 5, 6 people that are in my inner circle, when the going gets tough and rough, I can go to all of them. It shouldn't be where it's like, damn, out of these 5, I could only go to these 2. Then what are the other 3 doing in your life, And so that's where I am in my mid-30s. This is where I've been probably since I've hit latter 20s, early 30s, especially since I've gotten married. Like, life is real. We all going through shit. Like, I am over just us being friends and getting together when it's convenient for one another, or you or whatever, me. But where is the real friendship? If we can't pray each other through, if we can't listen to each other, support one another, sorry, that's how you know I'm getting fired up and stuttering. We can't support one another. We can't sit here and cheer each other on, even if you're doing better than me in my life right now. Like, I'm uninterested in people who cannot be there thick and thin throughout the duration of life, as long as we are alive. If you're not that kind of friend, I ain't with it. I went to the gym yesterday, right? Because your girl been trying to get this thing together. I feel like I'm 15 pounds away from where I'm trying to be for now, right? By the end of the year, I want to be, if I could be 30 pounds down by the end of the year, I'm with it. But I try to break things down. I lost 12 pounds in the month of June, right? And now I'm trying to lose 15. Then from there, let's try to drop another 15, right? Increments, slow and steady. So I'm at the gym, and I go to 24-hour fitness, right? So I'm like, let me take a class, because I'm on this track to run a 13.1 mile marathon. And So it's certain steps that I have to take. I have this app that's supposed to train me. And so there are certain days where the app does not want me to run or walk. I need to engage in yoga or cycling class or aerobics or Zumba, something else, right? So I went to a silver sneakers class because in my mind, oh shoot, this is some spicy dance aerobics. Get it. So I go. And come to find out, it's a senior citizen class, y'all. But let me say, the senior citizens where I live, they're pretty fit. I can't lie, and they're with it. Where I live in my town, everybody's about that fitness for the most part. So I go and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for senior citizens. But guess what? I got to get this workout in. Thank God, 2 minutes after I arrived to the class, this other young lady, black girl, looks like she could be around my age range, arrived. And she's like, is this the silver sneakers class? I'm like, yes. She was like, well, I go to the gym in Jersey, which is not too far from where I live. And I said, okay. And she was like, girl, if you weren't here, I would have left. So we kind of like stuck together in the class. Some of the elderly, the senior citizens were side-eyeing us, like, what they doing here? And, others were welcoming. And so it was cool. The instructor was like, it's all good. All are welcome. And let me tell y'all, when I said that I was sweating, because this class included aerobics, core work, weights, like it was real. I felt like I actually got a pretty decent workout in. And at the end of the class, it's funny, in my mind, I was like, yo, homegirl seems mad cool. Like, I don't have a workout buddy. I just got good vibes. I don't know. My spidey senses, they be on, y'all. But I said, nope, Chanel, because you always get ahead of yourself and be wanting to open the door, getting to know women, and it turns sour real quick. So I said, nope. If I run into her again at this gym, maybe. By the end of the class, y'all, she was like, I was like, what's your name? She was like, my name is, she said her name, Kelly. And I said, hi, I'm Chanel. And then she said, you want to exchange numbers? Which was on my mind. But, I was like, don't do that, because anytime you be trying to get to know someone new, it don't go right, So for her to ask, I said, okay, I'll give her my number. And she said, if you ever come to the gym in Jersey, hit me up. And when I come here, I'll hit you up. So I'll let a couple of days go by, and then I'm going to be like, yo, what days, she's a teacher, so she's out for the summer. And I have free time while I'm in between jobs. So my thing is like, what days are you available? This way, maybe we can kind of be each other's workout buddies, right? I haven't had a workout buddy since I've been on this journey, which has been 4 years now, y'all. But, I'm open to it. So I don't know. I believe that God will add people into my life, into your life when necessary. Maybe she'll end up being someone who we develop a friendship, maybe not. Either way, my standards still remain the same. If I feel like we can't go the distance of time, or we're just about two different things, or, there's no loyalty there, or you're shady, or you the type where I can't have you in my house because you're going to low-key be trying to get at my husband, like, I ain't with all of that, So I'm very, like, I watch people like a hawk, like, I'm not with that, but if I see that you're about woman empowerment, you're about being real, you're about letting your flaws hang out like the rest of us, it is what it is, being who you are and loving who you are enough, and, you're about something in life, like that, let's rock, and so I just wanted to put that tidbit out there. I don't know if you have the same sentiments, I don't know if you have the same sentiments that I do, but let me tell you, at this stage in my life, I don't got time for the games. There are women who I love dearly, still love dearly, that I just feel like it just ain't in the cards for us right now. You know what I'm saying? We might have been friends for years, but I'm not about the little games and the being in the sandbox. Like, if we can't be real with one another, and we can't be straight up and true blue with one another and admit our wrongs, and when we mess up, it happens. Life, it is what it is, right? We're all flawed. But if we can't do the bare minimal simple things, then how are we going to continue to go the distance of life together? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's time is valuable and limited out here. Let's not waste each other's time. I ain't got time for no women who are jealous. I ain't got time for no women who want what you got, want your life. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, let's inspire one another and push one another to be great. I always say that. Like, those are the kind of chicks, women, I'm trying to roll with. It don't matter where you from. No matter the color of your skin. As long as you have the bare core principles and values where we can rock hard and like do the damn thing in life together and pushing each other to do amazing things and to live up to our fullest potential and being real with one another when we need to be. If you see that I'm depressed, call me out on that, you know, lovingly, wisely, but like, come on, like, what's with the looking the other way? Being delusional. Like, I don't have time for stuff like that because I'm not going to be that kind of friend to nobody. I'm always going to be the friend that'll lovingly be there for you, support you, but I'll also be the one to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or you don't, you know. I'm going to put it out there and it's up to you with what you do with it. Those are the kind of people I'm looking for. But anyway, it's been about 45 minutes. I'll get out your hair. Continue to rock out with your girl by going to complexsimplicities.com. And until next time.